Welcome to the Stone and Wood Post Show in what is going to be an awesome afternoon spectacle, because we've got so much to break down. Huge performances over at the box, of course, but the decision being made not to get into the round of 16 for the women. And I got to back the decision because we're only going to get 4 heats done, and there's so much on the line. Obviously, there's a couple of surfers battling to get themselves above that cut line, and you don't want to give the advantage to anyone or make someone surf an extra heat on finals day. So I'm happy with it. Flick?
Oh, what a day. What a day. I mean, look, it's amazing, right? It's been really beautiful. We've had incredible conditions. And I'm just so excited that we got to go back to the box this morning and we saw some heroics go down. Kaya
Vorner, welcome to the post show, mate.
Thank you. I am on cloud 9. I think slab surfing belongs on tour. It's a welcome return, in my view. The call to get out there and get that reef, get that little bit of Aussie grit and pride back on the calendar was a real highlight for me. And right from the word go, you know, it was justified. We saw some wizardry, I guess is the way that you guys were describing it, and it really was. Like, there was some incredible tube rides. There were people lost at sea. It's something we need to have on this WSL tour, and it was just a masterstroke to get over there. Well played.
A wave that takes a lot of commitment. We saw that again when we got back to main break for the last couple of heats of the round of 16 to set up our quarterfinals for the men. But let's get stuck into it. The Boost Mobile heat of the day, and local knowledge prevailing. Jacob Willcox up against Joel Chianka. And, man, the crowd turned out in force once again to get behind the local.
Oh, of course. I mean, the Margaret River community always going to get behind Jacob Willcox out there. It's his home, right? He spends so much time out there. Jow really, you know, asking a couple of questions. If he had potentially made that, Jacob said it, it could have been like, you know, up into that excellent range. And it would have been a totally different story. But Jacob threading the needle on a couple of absolute beauties. And, yeah, Jow just kept trying to fight back, kind of had a couple of moments there, but yeah, it was Jacob Willcox show.
It was just the story of a lot of heats, really. Someone finding rhythm, someone finding the opportunities. Jacob used that local knowledge. He said, you know, he's been waiting his whole career to have a heat out here. It finally happened, and he really delivered.
Yeah, we saw a few goofy footers give it a good nudge out there, but Jacob just had a different level of comfort, dropping his body into the wall of the wave, stalling at different stages, maxing his time behind the curtain on the 817. And backing it up pretty well as also.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's obviously a local, but he's on his backhand out there, and I think it was just a great demonstration of what's possible for the Goofs, right? I mean, we saw Owen do it, you know, that 10-point ride, the iconic one that we always go back to, but it was just epic to see just the mastery of Jacob Willcox, the times that he spent out there, and all that time just put to good use, and yeah, taking down Jow.
Yeah, Joel Chianka too really has elevated himself nicely throughout the GWM Aussie Treble and got himself safe above that cut line here at Margaret River, and can really have a good run at the back half of the season now. But let's check in with the winner of the last heat of the day. We know he's got to get through a couple more rounds and get the victory here in the West to shore up a position on the championship tour. He's with AJ. It's Imai.
Ronnie, Imai coming in and just describing the conditions, because you had some beautiful moments, but how challenging is it to find those waves and then execute?
It's still solid out there. It's like maybe just as big as yesterday, but I don't know, the energy feels different. It's doubling up so hard, so those end sections and how shallow it is right now is like, it's pretty intense. So yeah, it's really difficult. Like, you can kind of tell Al didn't really have much because there weren't that many good waves coming in, but I kind of just found the 2 underneath, like not even the biggest waves, but just best shape kind of.
And this afternoon, we saw you and Jordy just ripping into some. You've got him next. How are you going to continue this momentum?
Yeah, I just step by step. I'm just really enjoying like how I'm surfing in my heats, so I'm just stoked to kind of just be putting good performances together. And yeah, just hopefully the next round's good waves, because Jordy is probably one of the best out here, so it's going to take, you know, it's going to be a battle.
Looking forward to watching. Thanks, Imai.
Thank you.
Thank you, AJ. Imai Kalani deVault. We know he's got that massive task ahead of him, but sailing through that round against Al Cleland and really looking smooth, but he's going to have his hands full in the next round. Jordy just looks so at home out here at the moment, Vaughan. Just deep rail turns, so much style as well.
Oh, Jordy was incredible today, but Imai, I guess, like, you know, a simple way to look at it might just be 3 heats. Win 3 heats, re-qualify, get a big win. Like, it's kind of a
waves.
simple equation if you don't sweat too hard on having Jordy. It's the hard thing to do, but I mean, you know, these guys are pros. I'm sure he's going to sleep well tonight.
We had an unbelievable finish to the day. Al Cleland, he had an important heat win, the round of 32. That was to jump up above that cut line, solidify a place on the CT for the rest of the year and also into 2026. This afternoon, though, he gave us one of the most committed end section hits that we've seen. Amazing that he went for it.
Just what he's doing here, Al, just with so much speed, so much aggression. Are you absolutely kidding? That lip is so thick, so meaty, just goodbye ankles, goodbye knees. That was my first reaction. I couldn't believe what I witnessed, that he actually went for it. It was crazy.
Yeah, he buckled his board, but mate, the heaviest thing was like, how often do you see a wipeout where you dead set hold your breath?
Oh.
Like, we saw some out the box today that were like, you go, oh my goodness, this is heavy, but that was #1 wipeout of the day for sure.
Yeah, I think too, everyone in Al's camp would have been thinking, you just solidified your place on the championship tour and you know, going for a turn like that, there's a chance that you won't be surfing again this year. So it was good to see that the board buckled and his legs didn't, and he climbed up on the ski. He looks to be okay, but yeah, Al's got a lot to celebrate this week. It was a huge event for him when the pressure was on.
And I think also we saw the response from him yesterday when he first got out of the water. He didn't even know that that heat was going to decide his fate for the back half of the year, and it's just unlocked so much potential for him to show us what he's really made of, because there's so many waves in this back half of the tour that just fit into his wheelhouse, his strengths. You know, he's got all the explosive new school moves for a wave like Trestles. He's got, you know, plenty of ticker when it comes to big Pacific reefs, so it's going to be fun to watch him.
Most definitely. We got so much work done yesterday in working out who's going to be campaigning through the back half of the year and into 2026, but we only had a few more spots or a few more surfers chasing that dream, and two of them met in the round of 16, and it was an intense one between Jackson Bunch and Crosby Colapinto, surfing against one another head-to-head for the first time, and out the box, no less.
Oh, man, I mean, this thing was crazy. It was literally, it was sudden death, right? I mean, whoever loses this is relegated to the Challenger Series, and I mean, wow, for Jackson, who probably his first surf was this free surf this morning. I'm not sure if he caught a wave, so you're trying to figure it out in a heat. Not an easy task, but it was a small scoring heat. Cros actually ended up finding this one, converted to about a 4-5, I think it was. But yeah, I mean, there was some serious efforts. Even this one from Crosby just gets clipped there at the end. It fell down the trapdoor with that ledge. But you can just see, I mean, emotion from both ends, right? Obviously, Tommy Witts, Crosby, you know, super emotional about getting through. But then on the other hand of that, you've got Jackson, unfortunately, relegated to the Challenger Series. So super highs and super lows, and to have it all go down at the box is pretty hectic.
Yeah, I think Tommy, you can see he had some hair in that shot. It was gone by the time he got back to this land, because he has done a lot of stressing out in the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
But his charges have delivered. He's done a wonderful job, you know, keeping them focused on what they have to do. And for Crosby, after his performance against Ethan Ewing, you were just going, wow, this guy's on, but he had to win. He had to win ugly in that one, really. He's so good out there. But he got the job done, and congratulations to him.
Yeah, he was over the moon. Big result for him after missing the first two events due to that broken elbow at the start of the season. So it's been a remarkable turnaround to his year, and he'll get his opportunity on finals day, taking on the local boy Jacob Willcox. As we have a look here at the finals bracket, what matchups, Borny, you're loving?
Well, first of all, that list of names is just so cool to see. It really looks like a fresh list coming into this event, but I love the Jacob Willcox, Crosby Colapinto battle. That's going to be really fun, but also, you know, I live just up the road from Connor O'Leary, and after what Barron Mamiya did today, that's going to be a real heavyweight clash as well. Yeah,
it's huge. And Jordy Smith moving closer, Flick, to that #1 position. I think if he can crack the semis, he'll overtake Italo. We'll have to confirm that, but certainly if he cracks the final, he'll be in yellow at the next stop.
Oh, it's cool, right? You look at that and you think, okay, Kanoa's out now. I mean, they were the kind of two, was Kanoa and Jordy, right?
And Barron.
And Barron.
Still chasing it as well.
But it's kind of, you're thinking, I mean, Barron, yeah, he's had some moments out here, but Jordy, for me, is just looking so switched on. I mean, you just reflect on the heat he just had then, and the 9-5, say no less, just the pure big carving manoeuvres, the 6 for 1 big turn. he's going to be hard to stop.
Yeah, it reminds me of El Salvador, just his pace through the event too. It still looks like Jordy's got a bit more to give, but just the way he covers these big open faces and does it without being affected by the lumps and the bumps out there. The texture never really seems to take away that smooth approach from him.
Yeah, he came in like a wrecking ball. I could see him just swinging on that thing as he with a
Big
ratchet
wrecking
and
ball.
wetty on.
That's a thick chain.
Yeah, but he was phenomenal in that heat. We got to see Jordy Smith completely foot to the floor, turbo Formula One, Jordy, and his board was just in the perfect spot for that size surf and that power. It was power meets power swinging around out there. It was great.
There's only one spot left up for grabs when we talk about that cut, and it's nervous times for Alejo Mendez with Imai moving one heat closer, but Crosby Colapinto pushing ahead of Matty McGilvray today, knocking him back to the Challenger Series. Just a crucial heat win for him, and couldn't have been more nervous for his fans and his big bro Griffin, who were watching on, and man, he just took a long time to really shut that heat down.
It's nervous when it's going down at the box because we just knew there were such small scores. I mean, we had Jake in here too, and he was saying it literally could be turned within 2 minutes, right? All it takes is one wave from Jackson. It just could have gone either way, and yeah, I mean, I'm obviously stoked for Cros. You're upset for Jackson, but I mean, what that heat win means, it's obviously you qualify for the back half of the tour, but then you've got all of next year too. So it's pretty amazing, really, in terms of the context of everything and what it really means. You
got to wonder too what those regional QS campaigners are thinking about when they're saying who's coming back to the Challenger Series to contend, and it is going to be heavily stacked. And some people that have had real success on the Challenger Series and broken through for event wins will be back there when we get to Newcastle for Stop 1, June 3rd.
Oh, yeah, I mean, look at the names here. It's crazy. I mean, you got Ryan Callanan, David Silva, Ian Gentile, George Pitar, Sammy Pupo. I mean, he's had so much success on the Challenger Series. He's had a habit of turning it around straight after this event on the first event on the Challenger Series. So there's that whole list of names there. I mean, you even go to that second side there, Liam O'Brien, Gabriel Medina, obviously injured, Ramsey injured. You got Edgard, Jackson now, and poor Matt. I mean, he knew that, with that sudden death match between Crosby and Jackson, it was all over. He knew yesterday. So, yeah. I mean, far out. There's some really good surfers there that are definitely going to contend on that. Gabriel Medina's
sitting at home going, what? I'm below the cut line. You put me on the Challenger Series? No way.
Relegated?
No, there is a really good chance he'll be campaigning for the injury wildcard for the 2026 season, but we've still got our fingers crossed for him to make a competitive return at some stage this year. But let's get the GWM Aussie Treble update, having a look at the rankings now. Igarashi, he is up there in that #1 position, but falling out of the mix today to Conor O'Leary and, Griffin Colapinto within striking distance.
Oh, I mean, just big Jordy Smith right there. I can't go past that. Just with the form he's tapped into here. And Jordy and Griff, they're on opposite sides of the draw too, so could meet in the final for the duel for the tag.
And there's Conor O'Leary there too, within striking distance. A big win. I could see him getting around Lennox in a GWM tank. That'd look good up there.
Yeah, I saw Jake Patterson, Kanoa's coach, the other day get in the Tank 300 and start filming, and he called Kanoa and said, this thing would look pretty good on the road over here.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
commission.
Anyway.
Coach's commission.
Snake will have his fingers crossed that Kanoa can hang on to that #1 position. Let's have a look at the Surfline forecast. We knew big swell was predicted for this afternoon, but with it some wind, and that's going to be the story tomorrow, Flick, too. Yeah,
look, I mean, obviously today we were blessed, right? We had the swell sort of died off overnight, but then we knew it was going to continue throughout the day, and it pulsed, right? We woke up, we had beautiful conditions. It was super, not a drop of water out of place for, crew that were surfing the box for the first time. It's kind of as nice and inviting, I guess, as you could say, as it gets. And then, moving forward, let's look at these next 4 days. I mean, we've got a serious storm front about to hit, and we're looking at massive surf, but unfortunately all onshore. Good news is I had a little sticky beak further down the line. Monday, Tuesday are lining up pretty nicely. They look, pretty much all-time margies, but I mean, batten down the hatches is all I'll say. There'll be some strong gale force winds that come with that swell.
We don't mind it. extending the trip over here to the West Vaughan. No issue for us.
Having a wonderful time, thanks Ron, and really looking forward to the event kicking back in though, because these hydrolyte heats to watch are absolute bangers.
Yeah, they're huge. We've spoke about it on the men's side. Things have gotten compressed at the top end with some big names falling out. It's been the same story through the last couple of events on the women's tour as well. There's less space in that final five conversation, and knocking on the door of the final five are competitors like Luana Silva, Erin Brooks, who will face off in a great heat. Two surfers showing great form.
Oh, great form, both of them, but such a contrast, right? Obviously the goofy, the reg, but in their type of surfing and the way they approach the wave as well, so different. You know, Lulu, she's obviously got the long, beautiful, drawn-out lines, the carving manoeuvres, and then Erin is just, for me, the difference is the backhand and being able to go vertical. So that's going to be a great heat to watch.
Gabriella Bryan and Sally Fitzgibbons is another one that we've highlighted as a hydrolyte heat to watch. Fitzgibbons looking to save her place on the CT, and she probably couldn't have had a tougher draw to keep that run going.
It's a tough draw, but she's such a fighter, you know. Every single time you think, wow, Sal's in trouble here, she just gets to work. You know, she'll put on the gloves, tape up, and just ready to start throwing it down. She's actually put on some incredible performances out here over the years, and Gabriella Bryan, though, yeah, that is a mountain to climb, because she is just so in sync with this wave. We saw hints of it the other day. When she really lets rip into a power turn out there, it stands out. It's a big, big moment. So, yeah, it's a big challenge for Sally, but that's going to be a great battle.
Also, I think Gabriella's, got a challenge too, because she's been pegged as a favourite down at Bells and showed event-winning form down there, and then it kind of got the better of her. You know, she felt the pressure of being the #1 surfer and kind of let that form and that moment slip. So she's trying to recapture the momentum that saw her breakthrough for the win in El Salvador as well.
That, and I also think, we talk a lot about her power and just how well it is matched to this wave. So I guess it does come sort of with a little bit of expectation. It'll be interesting to know, how she's sort of going to approach this. And I mean, personally, I loved watching her last year. She got the win, obviously, and just the way that she just buries those rails. She matches the power for power out here, but Sally's not going to back down. I mean, she absolutely, she loves a challenge, so never give up on Sal.
All right, you ready for some fun?
Let's go.
We're going to get a word from Kaipo, who's always out there having a good time on the event site here at Margaret River.
Hey, FATBOY, that's Fat Boy Bikes, and we got them right here. There's a scrambler. Check this out, full suspension on this bugger. We got 2-person seat, pegs to pack your partner, surfboard racks, deluxe scrambler. You could have one. All you gotta do, scan the QR code. You are entered to win a Fat Boy Scrambler with all the accessories for you. And like I said, a friend, this is a 2-person seat. Remember, Fat Boy, you know the rules.
Yeah, Kipes. Yeah, you get down there and scan that QR code, and if you don't win, you can always just ride side saddle behind Kaipo around the beautiful tracks here. The Cape to Cape track. It'd be nice on a Fat Boy flick.
Oh, it would eat it up.
Well, so many highlights that we want to dive into, and we're going to get stuck into them now. It's time for the BioGland Daily Dose, and let's kick it off with some unbelievable clutch performances. Crosby Colapinto in the battle for survival with Jackson Bunch, who really did give us some great performances through the opening stages of the season, but Crosby had the advantage having some time in this lineup.
Oh, yeah, he got it done, Cros. I mean, it wasn't a heat that either of these guys wanted to surf, but look at the relief from Tommy Whitaker and Crosby, and he's really feeling it. Griff was on the shore with all the crew to welcome him back to the beach. It was a massive effort.
A Mamiya masterclass. Luke Egan in his ear, getting him tuned up for what was one of the best performances we saw this morning. Yeah,
it was amazing, right? Barron's so incredible. Everyone's trying to, find the time. He has all the time in the world. It's actually crazy. It's like he's surfing in slow-mo when you watch him. The entry, the speed, it was wizardry.
Super cool customer, as is this man, using his local knowledge. Jacob Willcox getting the edge on Joao Chianka.
Just parking it in this big old cone. It just spits into the channel, a big old bath, you could say. That's what they were calling it. in the competitors area. But yeah, he's taken this opportunity at the box, his first heat ever out there, to go deeper than he's ever been in the Margaret River Pro.
Coming in at number 2, Jordy achieving excellence this afternoon on main break. The big man throwing down some of the hugest carves that we've seen throughout the event.
Yeah, this was cool, the 9.5. I mean, Jordy's so adaptable, right? He was basically at his ratio and ready to go to the box. They say, hang on a sec, we're going to actually hold for a bit, and we're going out the main break. And it's the veteran experience, and just being able to adapt like that, and ploughing his way through to the draw and on his way to potentially taking that yellow jersey.
Yeah, that's huge. Longest serving member on the championship tour, Jordy, and Griffin Colapinto just reigniting the form that's seen him finish in the top 5 the last couple of years. This wave was remarkable, Vaughan, a 9-pointer.
One of the best we've seen. Look at that. You don't see tail willies like that unless Kaipo's doing them on Fat Boys through the contest area. This was as good as you'll ever see. Somehow finds an exit. It is the biggest glitch cone I've seen at this event. And where are these Colapintos going to go without the stress of the cut, without all that pressure on their shoulders? Like, they could seriously open up and do major damage through the back half of the season.
Yeah, they've rallied big time, pulled their socks up, gone to work, and got themselves above that cut line in a couple of events. You know, a few for Griff, obviously, but, you know, it's been tough for Crosby. Really missing those first 2 events. After finishing 10th last year, getting to that Rookie of the Year honour, you know, his seed was getting worse until he got back, and it didn't take him long to achieve a semi-final result. So it's been pretty remarkable to save himself.
Oh, it's been incredible. He's had 5 events, everyone else has had 7, and he's still managed to make the cut. I mean, you have to draw some sort of inspiration from that himself as well, you know, to be like, hang on a sec, like, what happens when I get a full year, which he will next year, and yeah, to surf stress-free for the rest of the year as well. It's going to be good.
Vaughan, you've been enjoying your time here in the West. Very smart strategic move, flying the wife in, knowing that tomorrow could possibly be an off day for the event. We won't be running tomorrow, but stay tuned to worldsurfleague.com. What are you going to get into?
Mate,
Everything.
I'm just basically going to indulge in all the best things that the West has to offer, and that is culinary experiences, as Kaipo calls them. And yeah, the great wine, the great scenery, the nature. I'm taking Alicat, and we're going out, and we're going to experience this joint for real.
Here's the ultimate guide to everything that is
I think
great.
we've locked Flick in, actually.
Yeah, you have locked me in. You've locked me right on in. I'm coming.
Perfect. We're looking forward to it, but tomorrow will be an off day, but stay tuned to worldsurfleague.com for all the latest news. But we're going to leave you with some amazing highlights, and we look forward to bringing the finals action to you right here at stop number 7, the Margaret River Western Australia Pro.
This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.